Alrighty, so welcome to week 6 in CIT 85 HTML and CSS. Before I get into some of the things you're going to get this week, I want to be clear about something. It's like I leave feedback in your grades. So if you're not understanding why you got a specific grade, generally, if you go and look in your grade, you will see my comments. And if you're not clear or it doesn't make sense, please reach out because if you're doing work but not or not maybe submitting it correctly or not understanding the instructions, it can really hurt you, and especially with my due dates the way they are. So please keep that in mind. Be on top of it because with this kind of class, here we are at week 6, which really only means we have 3 weeks to go. So, and we have a lot to do in 3 weeks. So that leads me well into the requirement or the understanding of what we're doing this week. So I brought up the calendar because I'm recording this the day after we got back from spring break. And I want to talk about that in week 6, in addition to the attendance that you're doing now, and I do give a break on the code along, so you'll see that. Your first step in the project is here. And submitting this early, really helpful. I've said this before, and there is a video I've already posted for that, I believe up in week 4, and I had to do a to-do list for that. So just keep in mind, and this is one of those items you definitely don't want to get late if possible, because late, that's a bigger percentage of your grade, and so doing it on time and having it be complete is really, really important. And you will have need to completed phase 1 before you do phase 2, because I may have something you need to change there. Okay? Okay. So now this, and I'll also provided, because I recorded this over the break, a video for phase 2, right? So you can already take a look at what's going to be needed for phase 2. Actually, I realize I could probably also, because this is the video for my instruction, but I could also provide, if you want, and actually I might just do this, also the instruction for what you need to do there. So I've gone over it in the video, but it might be helpful. Okay, so now let's talk about the graded work, because if you've been in any of my classes before, you know what a huge fan I am of Chrome DevTools. Now I get that there's other browsers that do something like Chrome DevTools, which you're welcome to use here, but regardless of what you use, I generally recommend Chrome. But if you use something else, the requirements still are the same for this activity. So now your task is to discover and share something new in Chrome DevTools that goes beyond what Dave showed us. Now you might take what Dave showed us and take it to a new level. That'd be fine, but don't be, just keep that in mind, because Dave showed us a bit already, and there's so much more to come. And so this is your chance to experiment and share powerful features that others may not know about. So for 80 points, you find a new feature that has not been discussed in class, right? And that would be, and I talk about this here, it's also that if a student posts before you, make sure you review that they haven't already covered that topic, because that's part of what you're doing here, right? So now you're going to explain how it works, and then, right, explore how it works. Make sure you understand it first, and then explain in your post. Your post needs to include clear and instruction, clear and instructional. Think step by step. Include a print screen. Now, on this print screen, make sure you do not attach it, and make sure you resize it. And I talked about the idea of don't use the width and height to do that in the post. Actually, do that in resizing the image. That's part of what I'll look at. And don't attach the images, right? For full credit. Right, you must embed them, right? So make sure your post is complete and well formatted for others to follow. Now, as a reply, so first you do yours, right? So again, this is your chance to find something cool we haven't covered and that you can share with other people, because the more I learn about DevTools, the better developer I am. And now, find a student post that hasn't already received a reply. Try out their feature, right? Give them feedback. Was their explanation clear? Did the feature work, right? And now you also might tell them what you use to test out their feature, because depending on their feature, it may have been something that you had to, go to a website or use some of your own code along, right? You might, and I think I might just update this here, like how did you test it? As a matter of fact, we could almost talk about that here, right? So 80 points for your post, 20 points for your reply. And I'm not going to give you an example this time because I've gone over all these topics and I don't want to take away from something somebody might choose because again, those you know me, I love DevTools and I use it all the time. And I think you just cannot waste, it is not a waste of time to spend more time using this tool. Okay, hope this helps you out. Talk to you later.